Hey everybody, it's Kim Hawk, and I'm known as YouTube's fairy godmother of real estate. But more importantly, I am one of the founding residents of Celebration, Florida, an incredible town that Disney built. And so, what we do every Monday night at 7 p.m. or around that time, we come to you and give you a snapshot on what's going on for this upcoming week, show you a video that my incredible YouTube producer, Dee Bellavati, has produced with our group, and then kind of give you a recap on what's been going on in real estate the last 7 days here. There's been a lot going on. But before I go further, I just want to see where you guys are watching from. You know, a lot of times if you live in Celebration right now, people will talk about what village that you're from. So give me a shout out. Or maybe you're watching from up north. Let me know what the weather's like up there. It's been gorgeous, gorgeous here. And for those that have been watching our YouTube channel near Disney, you'll know that there's a big storyline going on right now with my husband and I. We are actually renovating a home in Celebration down to the studs of the house. So I want to say this might be our 8th home. You know, we just move around Celebration. We some of the founders, so that means over 27 years living here. And so I am here live wanting to answer any of your questions that you have. And I'm kind of curious too, you know, Valentine's Day is coming up. So what have you guys thought about would be cool Valentine gifts for loved ones? Or what restaurants are you going to? I'd be interested in that too. So while people are coming on, let's talk about some of the upcoming events that are happening in Celebration. You know, there's this really cool event. It's called the Enchanted Evening. They change the theme every year, and it's a father-daughter dance. It is Friday, February 16th. And so today is the 12th. So you know that's coming up. And it's one of my favorite events because the next day on Facebook groups, and if you're not on a Facebook group for Celebration, please go to Celebration Porch, and ask to be invited. Tell me that you watch us on Near Disney, and I'll get you into that Facebook group. But there's really incredible photos of fathers and daughters that are out there dancing and having lots of fun. Another thing that's coming up is on Wednesday, they're having an open house for Valentine's Day. And they're showing a location in Celebration. I'm going to see if I can find that screen, but people are prepping for Valentine's Day. So once again, Valentine's theme. And then also don't forget the porch and yard sale is coming up March 3rd. That's going to be here before you know it. It's just a couple of weeks now, and it's really rare. We have twice a year that we're able to have our items out on our front porch, because having porches in Celebration is a big deal. And it's really kind of fun. It's a great way also for you to find some items, because, you know, Celebration people tend to have nice items in their homes, and when they don't fit after they move from up north or wherever they're moving from, they tend to sell them for fairly inexpensive. And so on March 3rd, that is a big day, right? So March 3rd. All right. Well, as people are, I'm starting to see people say hello. Yep. Hi everybody. I wanted to as a Valentine's gift, because we get asked every once in a while, because we show videos. As I said, on our Near Disney YouTube channel, we have over 500 videos now, guys, over 500. Hello, I'm saying hi. And so one that is a real love letter from me and my team is our video on Celebration, Florida. So we wanted to post that tonight, show it to you as a Valentine's gift. If you have an interest in sharing it with your friends, you are more than welcome to do that. It'll show what a cool place it is that we live. And here we go. I'll be back at the end of the video to answer any of your questions. Okay, here we go.
Everybody, it's Kim Hawk, and I'm known as the fairy godmother of real estate. And my group specializes in a 25-mile radius around this amazing castle. Yes, that's Cinderella's castle in Central Florida. And today we're going to be talking about one of our favorite towns. It's the town of Celebration, Florida, the town that Disney built. Welcome to Celebration, Florida. This is the town that Walt Disney World built. Back in 1996, the first residents moved here, and what you're going to see here shortly are restaurants, retail, there's a post office, and there's great design here from architects. So as we take you on this journey, you're going to learn a lot of great tidbits about this great town of Celebration, Florida. And in the town center of Celebration, Florida, there's a lovely lake. This is where people will be able to enjoy an ice cream cone as they sit on a rocking chair. Look at the beautiful views. And you know, not too far from here, you could see your children playing in the popping fountain, which is absolutely beautiful during the summer months to cool you off. The views here are just spectacular. It looks like a painting. So Celebration, Florida was intended initially to be Epcot Center.
The most exciting, the most important part of our Florida project, in fact, the heart of everything we'll be doing in Disney World, will be our experimental prototype city of tomorrow. We call it Epcot, spelled E-P-C-O-T, Experimental Prototype Community of Tomorrow.
Epcot's Greenbelt is more than just a broad expanse of beautiful lawns and walks and trees. Here, too, are the community's varied recreational facilities. It's playgrounds for children, it's churches, and it's schools.
Well, that never happened before Walt Disney passed away. So there's this genius man by the name of Michael Eisner who was in charge of Disney, and he said, what are the things that Walt wanted to happen that didn't occur? And one of the ideas was the Epcot portion of people being able to live and be and have their jobs at Epcot. Well, instead of it being at Epcot, it's here at Celebration, Florida. And you'll see behind me, he was very specific about his architects. So he picked someone by the name of Robert Stern to design downtown Celebration. What a marvel that we have. He picked 5 amazing architects. But just realize, this town was actually envisioned by Walt Disney himself. And before the first people moved into Celebration in 1996, they had a lottery. There were over 5,000 people that showed up for the first 350 homes. Can you imagine 5,000 people trying to get into this amazing town? But with Disney, the magic always happens, and it's in big demand. Very much like you see in the Magic Kingdom, there's something called forced perspective. If you walk down the main street in the Magic Kingdom, you'll see that the first floor of the building is taller than the second floor. The second floor is taller than the third floor. And what happens is that your eye plays a trick on you. You believe that the buildings are taller than they are. Well, right here in Celebration, Florida, that's what's happening with the downtown lake. The engineers decided to expand the lake to the left and to the right, and so you just feel like it's much larger than it is. Pretty brilliant, huh? Some of you might be wondering, what does it cost to live in the town of Celebration? Well, there's a couple of great things. There's no state income tax here. And the properties will range anywhere from about $150,000 to $6.3 million. Walt Disney was very adamant about wanting to do things like having alleyways behind the homes here because he didn't want the garages facing forward, because what happens? A trash can is left out and it makes it look messy. When you're going through this town, there's other Walt things as well. Winding roads versus just straight cut roads. And you're going to find lots of amenities, tennis courts, farmers markets. You're going to have playgrounds. He's going to encourage you to get out and about because there's over 50 miles of walking and biking paths around the town of Celebration, Florida. There's a variety of type of properties, and one of the examples is the Home Business District. There's actually 14 homes that are very close to downtown Celebration where you can run your business. You can also live in the home. Now this one's exceptional because there's a big talk about where's the hidden Mickey. I'm going to ask you if you see anything on this home that might give that away. And for all of you architect buffs, we understand that this corner is very special. And the reason why it's very special is for zoning reasons. The house behind us is beautiful, and it's on one story with a great porch. And if you look down the street, you'll see that the Disney Imagineers were very particular about making sure that this house sits a little bit forward and the next two houses sit a little bit back, and the last house on this street sits a little bit forward. That was a design factor. They wanted it to look like it was a bookend. You'll also notice things like the roads are curved. That was a big Disney thing. Walt himself wanted you to feel like you were meandering, you were coming into an area that was blessed, and we certainly are. So from this section as well, you'll see a one-story home. This next corner is a two-story home. Across the street from this place is a commercial place, which is the church, and then you also have townhouses on this corner. The other big thing about this street, if you come to Celebration, find Sycamore, because this is the street that Robert Stern, who was the overall designer of the town, said that once it hit the 5-year mark and you saw how beautiful the trees were, you would see the true beauty of the town of Celebration. This church not only was important to Walt Disney, it was important that his niece, Dorothy Disney, was involved. Here we have a plaque that shows the involvement of the Walt Disney family in the town of Celebration. So we're presently on Water Street, which is technically the center of the town of Celebration. At the end of the street, you will see the Robert Trent Jones Senior and Junior Golf Course, which is fabulous. But there's a couple of things that a lot of people don't know about the center street, one of which is the Disney Imagineers brought to life an area of Amsterdam. So we have this beautiful canal, beautiful flowers, waterfalls, but here's something interesting too. I wanted to stand here in particular. We were always knowing and wanting to have a wide age range of people that live in this town. And so what the Disney Imagineers did was on a bridge, when you're coming across the bridge, for our young people that are on a bicycle, see how it arches up? Well, the idea is they can arch up so they can see if traffic is coming, which will be more safe for our children so they don't go across the street. Now on the other side, it's cut flat. And the idea is that they wanted to make sure if somebody was in a wheelchair on the opposite age, that they were able to pass this beautiful part of town, Water Street in Celebration. Let's talk about some other cool things. We have no power lines overhead. How fabulous is that? But it's also important. If a hurricane were to come through this town, which we've had about 3 or 4 over the course of 20 years, we've never lost power. So it's been a blessing to us. I believe with Disney, they've thought about everything. We are at the intersection of Long Meadow and Mulberry Street. And one of the beautiful things that the town of Celebration, the Disney Imagineers did, was they created all these beautiful parks, and we're in the middle of one of them. But what they also did was they traveled quite a bit to see where the best of locations were. The best of America would be Savannah. So around us now you see an example of Savannah Square. There's places like Charleston, the Key West area. There's areas that look like right outside of Washington, D.C. Once you look really close into this town, you're going to be amazed at all the details. And I, for one, love the parks. As I mentioned, one of my favorite things are the parks that are in Celebration. And we're standing here in Long Meadow Park. I was here just recently with a young man that decided that he was going to ask his bride-to-be to marry him here. So it was lined with Celebration residents. It was a joyful day. That's a normal day in Celebration. Also on this street, there is a house that's fashioned after a Steve Martin movie, and it's this home over here. It was a movie about de Bergerac. So lots of exciting things on the street. Nice shade. Absolutely gorgeous. And of course, with Walt Disney, we're not going to leave out our furry friends. We've got Pluto and Goofy, and of course, they're going to think about a dog spot. So, with all these walking paths, they're making available wonderful resources so that your pets feel comfortable as well. There's a dog park in Celebration, there's a library, there is so much here, a fire station. It's absolutely amazing to be able to live in this town. And we are on Campus Street, and of course, Disney would think to put their school here. They originally started with the K through 12 school, which is behind me now, and there was a lot of thought that went behind it. 20 years prior to Celebration opening, Disney had something called the Teacherific program. They would go to schools throughout the United States and they would ask for nominations of the best teachers and bring them to Disney for a banquet. Oprah Winfrey would host that banquet, and they would ask them, what would you do differently to improve school systems? And guess what? When we opened in 1996, there was a group called Ground Zero, and Ground Zero took all of that information, and it wasn't just any Ground Zero. It was Harvard University, Johns Hopkins, Stetson, Auburn. We had amazing programs, and still we do. My daughter was 5 when we first moved here. She went through the whole school program, and I can tell you, it exceeded all of my expectations. We love our teachers, and we love our school. We're only 10 minutes away from the furthest gate, which is the Magic Kingdom. There's an amazing hospital here. It's by Advent Health. And you will drive past it and think that it's a resort. So as we turn the camera around, they make it snow here the day after Thanksgiving up until right after the 1st of January. Snow in Florida? Are you kidding me? Yes, they make it snow. They have Disney carolers that are singing a cappella. They have an ice skating rink. This is the town. We're so glad that you joined us today because we'd love to see you in the town of Celebration, Florida.
Happy Valentine's Day. Did you guys enjoy that as your Valentine gift from the Near Disney YouTube crew? It was a labor of love. We absolutely love our town, and I so appreciate seeing people say hello. I see Michael, I see you, I see Debbie, I see Linda, I see Chris, I see Michael. So anyway, I see a bunch of you saying hi, and that means the world to us. So the next stage, what we're doing, I see more and more people popping on as well. One of the things that's going on in Celebration right now is our CROA group, our Celebration Residential. CROA is our association, right, for the residents. And we have an election, and we've been blessed with, I think, 17 to 20 people that have put their names up to be volunteers. And it's a lot of work. It's a big commitment. It's huge, huge, huge commitment. Somebody saying Happy Valentine's Day. It's not saying your name, but I appreciate it. So I have been asked by many people who I might be voting for, giving recommendations. So for what it's worth, the people that I'm endorsing right now, and you get to vote for 4 people. The top 3 candidates get 2-year terms, and the person with the 4th most votes get a 1-year term. And so the people that have approached me, people that I have known in the past, or I have seen them work on committees, have been super successful, have been easy to communicate with, who have brought great ideas to the table, or I've worked with them on real estate stuff and have seen that they have really bright minds. So the people that I'm endorsing, if this helps at all, Don McDonald, Eric Obergard, Andrew Dzanzik, I've always said his name the wrong way, but Andrew, and Diana Vasallo. So if that helps in any way, and of course, if there's any candidates out there that's still trying to get their word out, because we still have time to vote, you of course can contact me and share with what your vision is and why you feel like you can be doing a greater service to the community. But as of right now, that's my top 4. Now let's do the next phase. which is telling you what's going on with the real estate market here. I'm going to share the screen. I hear my computer dinging and saying hello, so I'm going to try to see if I could read that too. Sometimes when it's not on YouTube, it doesn't tell me who is saying hi. So anyway, I'm going to say hi to Generally and thank you for the happy Valentine's Day, love. Okay, so in the last 7 days, this is what we do because we like you to know what's going on with the market, because if you own here or even if you're looking to buy here, it's good for you to kind of know what the reality is. Our inventory is very, very low. It's very, very low. And as a matter of fact, I have the honor and privilege of putting together a monthly realtor caravan that goes out on the second Tuesday of every month. So you may see a bunch of the realtors going around town tomorrow morning. Actually, we've got 2 new listings that are coming up. One is on Can Place and another's on Nadina, and those are going to be very well sought after because everybody loves being within walking distance of downtown Celebration. So for right now, the last 7 days, there have been 20 points of contact with about 90 properties that have been on the market. So that's quite a bit of movement, but this is something new that I haven't seen in maybe a year. That's how long we've been doing this for you guys, maybe a year. I am seeing a lot of people go active, more so than I've seen in a year. And you'll see of the 20, you'll see right here 13 brand new listings. That's very unusual for Celebration. People typically do not want to let go of their homes. So I know a lot of these people are not leaving Celebration. They're just wanting to move around Celebration. So obviously they're doing first things first, right? They're trying to get their property sold. And then only 3 pendings this past 7 days. And then look down here for this week, there were only 4 solds. And so what I also share with you every week is the most expensive that is sold, because that'll give you an idea, especially if you're like, why isn't my house selling? You know, because, well, if you're sitting out there and your house is listed at 2.5 million right now, you're going to know this past week there hasn't been buyers that have been really looking in that price range. The highest price range that it was sold was 1,625,265. That's an interesting number, right? But it's in Island Village, and that was a house that was a 2023 build. And we should say congratulations to the Mattamy people because they sold a new construction property. So Elizabeth Manchester, congratulations on that. That house was 4,427 square feet. And it was 6 bedrooms, 5.5 baths. So that would have put a sold price square footage price at $367.13. All right, I'm not seeing any questions so far. I'm seeing a lot of love, which I truly appreciate. And but I know I've taken up a good amount of your time already, and people are still saying hi, so I appreciate that. Please make sure on Wednesday nights that you stay tuned. I think our Elijah, our Prince of Real Estate, is even going to do a show this Wednesday, and that is Valentine's Day. So I want to say a happy Valentine's Day to everybody. But on Wednesday nights at 7 p.m., the Realtor Dream Team does a show on the Central Florida market, what's going on within a 25-mile radius of Cinderella's Castle. And then on Fridays, we do a special show that's evergreen. Evergreen means that we want it to have long-term on the shelf for people to be able to pull off anytime that they want. And that is a makeover show because, as I mentioned at the beginning, we are renovating a house down to the studs. And so we've been showing every week the progress that our wonderful contractors have been making, which, by the way, I want to say happy birthday to Raquel, one of our contractors, the lady that I tell you about that is also an industrial engineer. It's her birthday today. Also wanted to say love to Judy Gregg. It would have been her birthday today. She was a well-loved Celebration resident that passed. But anyway, this obviously is a special day for people, cool people who have birthdays on February 12th. So on Friday, we're going to be showing you another update. I think you're going to be amazed. There's things in this house. Are you ready for this? We have a shower that plays music and it has lights. Yeah. We have an island that was beautifully done where you have storage underneath of it, but an overhang with a waterfall effect. It's absolutely gorgeous. Rod picked a TV that is big as a car, I think, and I want to show you how well it works in a house and how you can feel enveloped and if you feel like you're really in a movie theater. So he's done a good job with that. And then, oh, Kim Keaton, my Kim Keaton. So Kim Keaton is my designer. And if you guys ever have the honor, when I say I wanted glam, I am just so pleased. I walk into this house and I'm going to show you on Friday too, the chandelier that she picked, the light fixtures, the tiles that she picked, the way the island turned out, the stone on the fireplace area, the paint colors. You can kind of see because we are in our new Near Disney YouTube studio, and this is the tone of paint that is just glorious, glorious throughout this entire house. Couldn't be happier. And you know the way that you get that type of success is when you have a Kim Keaton in your midst. And so you guys can always call me. You know my number, 407-808-9845 if you need numbers. But definitely we've got Raquel's birthday, Raquel and Sandro as contractors, Kim Keaton as the designer, you know, the mover, Omar. I mean, I can just go on and on and on about how critical it is to have the right people create your sanctuary, right? Because that's the way our houses are. They become our sanctuaries. And it's super cool too to know that there's things like singing showers that are out there. All right. Oh, yep. I'm seeing more people say hi, but it's not saying your name. So anyway, sending lots and lots of love. Hope to see you on Friday's show. Remember, please subscribe and like to the Near Disney YouTube channel if you haven't done it already. And once again, thank you to Dee Bellavati for producing our YouTube videos, and happy Valentine's Day. Special happy Valentine's Day to my husband and my kids and my dad. Okay. Love you guys. Bye-bye.